This was not the piece that I was originally going to perform for Slam, but I woke up this morning and realized that this was the first week in the past 5 years that I felt truly single. I left high school and fell into the arms of a dapper dentist. He had a lot of charm, he was eager to get married. I didn't find that scary as this was my first real love, and I didn't have any reason yet to be wary. He was older, sophisticated, seemed to have it all together, and he seemed to think that together we'd be better off with the engagement. When I came to my senses, fresh out the gate, it was too soon to finish the race. So I raced on and right into a turbulent mess and thought, yes, this is gritty, this is youth. All of these ups and downs are opening my eyes to the truth. The truth about how to become a shell of a girl when all your lover does is take and all you do is give. When he comes over for breakfast with oranges, for fresh squeezed orange juice, you're overcome by the magnitude of the kindness and let him seduce you again and again, cherishing half-full cups of unhealthy, bittersweet love. And now I'm habituated to the ebb and the flow, the up and the down, the on and the off, the hot and the cold, 20 years old, and I am tired, but I'm too young to retire. So I go back to school in bougie New England, and I do what all the other girls do. I join the workout craze and turn into Mac DeMarco with my never-ending salad days. Meet the captain of the hockey team, which would be someone else's dream, but for him each fuck was the equivalent of a lucky hockey puck. When I felt like making love, I could only yearn as I watched from the bleachers above. And the unattainability eventually drove me crazy, and I broke up with John and leapt into the warm embrace of Jose Cuervo, a love that led me down a very dark road. At this point, I began to realize that I was not cut out for love, that each time I began to fall, I would slip and lose my grip of everything that kept me grounded. But then I found Doug, and we fell madly and deeply in love. We learned the definitions of reciprocity, of what it meant to receive unlimited affection and not just guarded sections of hearts. We spent no time apart. After our first coffee, everything became hazy. So much oxytocin in my veins, I felt like I was going crazy. I would get in my car and feel too drugged to drive. I would stare at the wheel and think, is my life even real? And it was real love. And then I learned how distance is a great mathematician. Subtracting feelings and adding doubt. Yeah, distance did a number and I clocked out. I went from an equal equation to a very submissive persuasion. When I met Walter and filled in every crack of what I thought he wanted in a woman. Sexy, submissive, and supportive. I cooked and laughed and pleased, but when I raced home to make my 9 a.m. class and felt something sharp inside of my chest like glass, my opinionated, fiery, colorful self, whose voice had recently ceased, was now demanding to be released. And I quieted her, pushed her down into the deep recesses of my body, and sometimes at night she would wake and writhe to remind me that she was still alive. And I'd say in the dark, I know you're there, but I'm too fucking scared to let you out. And then I met Jakob, and perceptive as he is, he fell in love with the woman inside my intestines, and I rewrote myself from sex kitten to a woman whose roles are not written, and he encouraged me to stand up for what sets me free. But still, I could not ask him to ask me, how are you? For fear that my assertions might make his affections disappear. So I swallowed a number of needs and got upset when he could not uproot those invisible weeds. And we fell into that ebb and flow, the touch and go. The give and take began to disintegrate when we could no longer understand who we were and what we wanted, but we loved each other and could find no conclusions in our earnest confusions. The ambiguity, frustration, and anxiety, the excitement, infatuation, and desiring has never left any room for me. Until now. I feel that for the first time in 5 years, I'm finally pouring my love, my energy, and my concern into someone who has needed it all along. And if I could go back to 18-year-old me, casually considering matrimony, I'd say to her, slow down. Don't give yourself up and over to someone else before you've fastened your own seatbelt. Invest in what makes you thrive and then drive. Otherwise, you'll be 23 before you learn to love me.